Hi, I'm Erin Anderson, and I'm here today with Kathryn McKenzie. Kathryn, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi.
Hello, Kathryn. Before we get started, can you just please give us a little look into your background? If you could tell us a little bit about your background and your role in the fitness industry.
Yeah, for sure. I actually kind of stumbled into the fitness industry by accident. I always played a ton of sports growing up, and I always wanted to be athletic and involved in sports. And so I wanted to be a physical education teacher and teach school sports and things of that nature. But as a competitive athlete, it became too hard to juggle the schedule and the training schedule and tournament schedule with the school schedule. So I actually did do a Bachelor of Human Kinetics, and I did a Bachelor of Education and did teach in school, but it was too hard to sustain those two schedules. And so I started teaching some fitness classes outside of school and doing some one-on-one training. And that kind of evolved into growing my own business, which is called Surefire Fitness. And teaching has kind of fallen by the wayside, but I feel like I still get to teach, just not in the capacity that I thought I would. So it's been a lot of fun. Owning a business, like I said, is not something that I plan to do, but working in the fitness industry has been nothing but rewarding.
Great. Well, again, it's interesting that some of those best laid plans never work out, but it's the things that kind of come when we least expect it that tend to be those ones that lead us into a different path and something we continue on with. So
yeah, for sure.
Excellent, thank you. So Kathryn, you're going to be at Winnipeg, the Winnipeg event on April the 4th,
Yeah.
and you are going to be presenting 2 sessions there. Can you give us or tell us a little bit about them, or what we can expect from those sessions?
Yeah, one session is going to be more of a workshop style, workout style workshop. It's going to be it's a bodyweight boot camp. So we're going to be doing a whole bunch of bodyweight exercises, lower body, upper body core, and some cardio bursts, all with different progressions and regressions that people can use in their own workouts, or for those that teach group fitness or one-on-one that they can use with their clients. And then the other session is a little bit more of a lecture style. It's how to survive and thrive in the fitness industry. Surefire Fitness has been around for quite a while, and we've had our ups and downs just like any business. And so I just wanted to share a few tips for the newer fitness professionals that are entering into this world of vast unknowns, and just give some tips and tricks on how to make the most of such an awesome profession.
That's great. And even as beginners, but even as seasoned veterans of the fitness industry as well, it's always great to have those reminders. So
yeah, for sure. When I attend workshops and conferences, there's new things that I like to learn, but I often get reminded of some of the things that I'm doing right, or I'm on the right path. And so even as an experienced fitness professional, it is nice to go to sessions and get a few reminders and things like that.
Excellent, thank you. So boot camp and circuit training, interestingly enough, has been on our top 10 fitness trends survey that we run every year with canfitpro. It's been on there for the last 4 years in the top 10. So maybe if you can talk to a little bit about why you think that is, why boot camp has continued to be in that trending category.
Yeah, there's probably a variety of reasons. I think a lot of people gravitate towards that group fitness idea where they're getting challenged, but it's still social. I think people enjoy a variety of activities. And so in a boot camp or that group fitness setting, you often get different exercises. It's not mundane or repetitive like some other workout styles might be. And I think that boot camp in itself has also evolved. So it's not necessarily that 6 a.m. military drill sergeant type of class that maybe it started off as. And so people are attracted, once again, to that variety that comes with the different styles of boot camps, whether they're called boot camp or something else. I also think people like the accountability piece. Research shows that people work harder if they're in a group than on their own, or if they have somebody that's there to help support them or push them a little bit further than they might do on their own. So I think that appeals to people. And also that group social connection, tribe, squad, group, whatever you want to call it. I think that that's nice for people as well.
Okay. It seems that a lot of people are conditioned to working with equipment all the time, or to be working with those tools. What would you do, or how do you keep a non-equipment based class like your bodyweight boot camp? How do you keep that interesting and creative for the participants?
Yeah, it's interesting because those tools are great and they're ways to make movement different or a little bit more exciting or add variety. But at the base of it all is the human body. And so making sure that those fundamentals are good is very important, obviously, but then adding some variety even within. So in our bootcamp session that we're going to do at the CanFitPro event in Winnipeg, we'll be going through a bunch of progressions and regressions that can be incorporated into any workout, so that those exercises are good for someone coming in at any level. So whether you're a beginner, intermediate, more advanced, or you're just looking for some variety or some new ideas, those ideas will be shared.
Okay, and to us, with Bootcamp, it seems like it is versatile in that you can take it, right? Everywhere you go, from the gym setting to the outdoor backyard to the park, it kind of goes with you wherever you go.
The human body is the most important piece of equipment that there is. And so those other tools, again, they're great, but you've got everything you need to do a good workout right there inside of you. So I'm looking forward to sharing that.
Okay, good. What is your preferred variation of teaching a bootcamp style class? More towards reps or towards timing, or maybe a little bit of both?
Yeah, so we like variety. So I do incorporate some reps-based training in with some timed intervals, but I generally, if we're doing reps-based, I meld those into a time so that everyone's starting and finishing at the same pace and the break times. It just makes it a little bit more seamless. And it also is a little bit less intimidating for somebody new who might feel that they're keeping a group behind because they're not completing a certain number of reps at the same time as some of the more advanced exercisers or participants. I find if it's time-based, then one person can do 10 reps, another person can do 20, another person can do 30. Everyone's finishing at the same time, but they've all given their own 100%, and they're all getting something out of the workout without feeling that they are behind or slowing others down.
Okay. Do you ever sort of maybe combine the two? Would you do a class where you combine a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. What we'll do, again, we'll make sure that there's a time. So say we're doing a 2-minute interval, and maybe it'll be a series of 2 or 3 different exercises. So you'll do 10 reps of one exercise, followed by 10 reps of another exercise, followed by 10 reps of a third exercise. And you'll cycle through those for 2 minutes. And so one person might cycle through those exercises 3 or 4 times. Another person might only get through once or twice, but they don't know. They're each working at their own pace, and they are counting repetitions, but it's still a timed-based workout in the sense that everybody's starting and ending each interval together.
Excellent. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
What's one of the most creative ideas that you yourself, or perhaps somebody else who's seen, has incorporated into a bootcamp style class?
Tough to say. I've actually never been to a only body weight bootcamp class. It seems that every workshop or class I've been to incorporates some piece of equipment, which is great. And I love that as much as the next person. But the reason I wanted to create this specific workshop, again, was to kind of give people some ideas of, in a pinch, you have extra people and not enough equipment, or you're running some sort of session and a bunch of guests show up and you're not ready for them. And you can't just have them standing there doing nothing while other people are using the equipment. So being able to think on your feet and have some ideas of how a person can move in different ways that build strength and endurance and agility or mobility or whatever you're trying to do with them, that use the most important piece of equipment there is, which is yourself. So I've seen lots of things over time. Nothing really stands out just because I like a variety of tools. So we use those in our classes. But in this particular instance, we're just going to focus on different varieties and progressions and variations of some of the fundamental exercises using only the human body.
Okay, excellent. Do you have any, before we wrap up, do you have any advice or anything that you would tell perhaps somebody new to teaching bootcamp or setting up their own bootcamp business? Do you have any advice for them or anything you'd want to share?
I would say to come to the conference, obviously. There's a great lineup of speakers, and I feel that even the most experienced fitness professional can always get something, whether it's a new little tidbit or something that you've forgotten that maybe you learned a long time ago, but in the vastness of the information that we learn and take in, sometimes things get left behind that are applicable, that it's nice to be reminded. and also that reassurance that you are doing good things. For the newer people in this industry, it can be overwhelming. I think patience is key. I know in the online world, it seems like fitness businesses grow and it just overnight success stories, but the reality is not that. And it takes a lot of hard work and dedication and patience to grow a business. And so if you are thinking of doing fitness full-time or part-time or whatever your goals are, just to be prepared for a journey and not an overnight success.
You mentioned actually in terms of attending other sessions, I think sometimes it's really important, right, as fitness professionals to get out of our own comfort zone just a little bit and go to maybe sessions we perhaps wouldn't think about signing up for, because you can always, there's always something to glean from or something to grab from each of those, and it might be something that you can bring back to what you do and do it in a different way, you know, or surprise your members, surprise your clients, and something fresh. Yeah,
kind of like making an effort to hang out with different types of people, like that don't always think the same as you or have the same patterns as you, and you can kind of learn different things from them. Every time I go to a conference, I'm overwhelmed by the number of sessions inevitably, but I try to pick one session that is so outside of my comfort zone or something that I never would do. Last year at the canfitpro in Toronto, I went, I don't even remember what it was called, but it had something to do with dancing. And choreography and me are not exactly friends. And there I was foolishly trying to do this crazy choreography, but it put me out of my comfort zone, and it reminded me what it's like for my new clients who come to class for the first time and who are learning something new and who don't know what they're getting themselves into. And so I think putting yourselves in those situations helps you to learn about yourself as a person, but also help you grow as a professional.
Fair point. That's great, and a great example. Perfect example. Well, thank you very much for speaking with me today. I really appreciate your time. And so if anybody listening or watching today, please check out Kathryn at her session at Winnipeg, as well as all of our other presenters. And that's on April the 4th, the canfitpro Winnipeg conference. And thank you so much for chatting and spending the time with us today. I really appreciate it, Kathryn.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the conference and hope to see everyone there. And thanks for having me as a guest.
Thank you. Take care. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.